After a very exciting race to kick off the weekend yesterday at Nashville, we now bring you the second of two races this weekend at the Nashville Superspeedway. Another 75 laps for the Turbo Truck Series to strut their stuff. This is race number 5 of the 2024 season and the second here at Nashville Superspeedway. And once again, alongside me to bring you all the action once again is James Ellison for today's race. We had a great battle for the win yesterday. I would expect with a new set of challengers at the front of the field, I would expect nothing different here today.
Oh, absolutely. This is going to be interesting, especially with yesterday's front runners and top finishers having to battle from the back with the inversion. This is the chance for those who normally have runs in the back to shine for at least a little while. So it's going to be interesting to see how things play out for them.
Absolutely. We've got two drivers on the front row making their first starts of the season this weekend on the starting 1-2 for today's race, because with the starting lineup we can bring to you now, the top 39 drivers in yesterday's race got inverted to start today's race. That puts Victor Reyes on pole position with Jesse Johns alongside him, and we got a lot of big names starting out back. DJ Curtis is one of them. He had a strong run yesterday. He starts 36. Brian Grigsby, his teammate, he won the race yesterday. He lines up in 39th. We've got a lot of other big names coming from the back to the front as well. Francois Chastain, the pole sitter yesterday, starts 30th. And Andrew Lyons, we knew he made a big charge from the back to the front yesterday. We'll see if he can do the same thing here today.
Yeah, he made a big statement. He told everybody that he's not here to just run around. He's here to win. And with a determination like he showed yesterday, I believe that victory is coming sooner rather than later.
So with that being said, we have the same 42 drivers as yesterday, ready to take on the Nashville Superspeedway again for 75 more laps here in Tennessee. We got the green flag ready to fly, and the drivers are ready to go. I hope you are as well. This is the 1-Up Turbo Truck Series from Nashville Superspeedway, and the green flag is getting ready to fall again. Getting ready to go once again here at Nashville. It's Reyes and Johns on the front row. The green flag is in the air, and we are back at Nashville Superspeedway for race number 2 of the weekend. And Reyes gets a fantastic start off the line, and he's bringing that 84 with him. The inside line getting a great launch.
Well, all except for Rose Gray. He didn't get a good start, and he's already starting to fall back, which, well, he had to get his footing. It looks like he's fine now, but not the best of starts for that 11.
But the great start for the 84. Logan Jones in the 84. He's under pressure now, though, from Josh Gibson in the 5. He started 4th in this race, but he's found his way to the front of the field. Gibson leads the first lap.
Now, we talked about it, the number of drivers up here who normally aren't up at the front, especially the series regulars who don't always get to show off what they can do, as we see Jeremy Frey there in a bit of a hornet's nest, but he's not doing too bad right now as we watch that 48 drop.
Yeah, he's made his way up to the top 10. Great run for him. He entered this race top 5. He entered this weekend, top 5 in points. We'll see what he's able to do for the rest of the weekend. As the 84, his teammate makes a move for the lead, but Gibson holds him off.
And for a little bit, it looked like there might have been some 3 watt, I should say, behind them, but it didn't quite get to that, as we see the 16 getting by the 11. It's going to be Cal Farrell there in the 16. He's doing pretty good, starting in 11th place.
Yeah, absolutely. Cal Farrell's had some great runs this season. He had a little bit of a struggle yesterday and at Austin as well, but he's making his presence known here at the front. He's making a fight for second possible with the 5 as the 84 takes off. He's got a huge lead as we enter the 4th lap.
Yeah, these guys keep fighting back here. And Cal Farrell's pulling out of there, as well as the 56, but Jesse Johns, who started second. But I would say for right now, keep a close eye on some of these in the top 10 right now, because we're looking at a chance to see who's the best of the rest this early run.
And one of them might be Cal Farrell, because he's already caught up to the inside of Logan Jones, going for the lead down into turn 1. Farrell looking for... I can't even tell anymore if he's led this season or not. I expect that he has, but he's going to lead again. Cal Farrell to the top spot, as it looks like we had a spinner without a caution, and it's DJ Curtis.
Oh, that is extremely unfortunate. A dominant driver from the first race of this weekend, and now here he is, not having such a great run today, which you have those sometimes, but you never hope it's you.
And DJ Curtis, he did get spun round earlier, and it did not bring out a caution. He is now 8 seconds off the lead. He wants a caution now to catch him back up to the front of the field as Jesse Johns dives to the inside of Logan Jones, trying to get the lead away for the new race team.
And don't look now. Here comes Audrey Anzac now, I believe, coming up there trying to make something happen.
Yeah, she started 22nd today and is already up into the top 5. That's a fantastic run, as Villalobos in the 66 makes it 3 wide with 2 Team Duke trucks. He got the 83 of Jacob Miller in there as well.
Yeah, Team Duke's been pretty strong this weekend. We haven't talked about them much, but you can never count them out in the truck series. That's for sure.
Yeah, and it was their teammate Terzic that brought the challenge to the front last time. Now it's the other two. As we got a crash over back in the tri-oval. Caution flag flies. Oh, it's a big pileup in the back. Josh Gibson, he started 4th. Clayton Sessom. Here comes Curtis. He's piling in as well.
And there goes a chance at regaining the points lead for Buchholz right there. That is definitely not something that you want to see as someone fighting for a championship, even in the early running like this. But it's really unfortunate here.
And pit stops now the order of the day for everybody at the front. We only ran 8 laps, but these guys want to try and make this on 1 green flag stop if they're able to. Josh Gibson and Jacob Buchholz look to be our first 2 retirees from this race. Oh, and Jojen Stoyan is going to be our 3rd in the 7. He's pluming smoke at the back of the 7. But this is, in a way, even though he got involved in the crash, this is good news for DJ Curtis. He's able to get caught back up now.
We just have to hope that he didn't get too much damage to be able to try to make up for that early mistake or incident with the no caution spin, but we'll just have to wait and see as now everybody's in on pit road.
Juneda out of the race as well in the 46. He had a rough go yesterday, and it's gotten worse for him, as it looks like everybody else is coming in. Curtis, he's not pulling out of the race. He's going to get some new tires. Looks like he's going to be able to continue, but everybody else, what a mess. Looks like it starts right here. Gibson gets turned into Gutierrez, who hits the wall, goes for a slide, and then everybody just piles in. There's nowhere for these leaders, for these back markers to go. Curtis comes in at a great rate of speed, hits the 88 of Sessom. That does look like a good bit of damage on the 22. It's obviously not enough to take him out of the race, but will it be enough to slow him down the rest of the day?
Yeah, it could very well be, as we see that's where the 7 of Stoyan got damaged and took him out of the race. That's some real unfortunate series of events for several drivers here.
I think it's the 7 that actually turns Gibson down into Gutierrez and triggers this off, but oh, and Buchholz just gets piled in from behind by the 46. That's what turned him around. Big situation on the tri-oval. And after a race yesterday where we had no cautions at all, now we've got one in the first 10 laps. And here's where Buchholz got his damage from. He was quite a ways behind where this started, but he tries to slow up and gets tagged by the 7 and the 46, and that's just going to put an early end to his day. The 57, though, did a great job avoiding on the outside, but either way, not how the day wanted to start for Buchholz, for any of the 5 drivers taken out of this race as a result.
And I couldn't help but notice, looking at Buchholz's teammate, the other Crossroads full-time driver, Ludovic Charette, he squeezed right by there as well, which Shame we couldn't say the same about Voles. He had a really good run for the start of this season, but like all good things, they sometimes have to come to an end.
That is for sure, but he'll look forward to bouncing back at Hillside next time out, I'm sure. But we got a lap to go until the restart. We'll see. The officials are going to keep a close eye on Clayton Sessom here on restarting this race because he took a lot of damage on that caution. If he is not able to if he falls really far back on this restart, they will not hesitate to pull him in and park him for minimum speed violations. We've seen it happen earlier in races like Daytona, Las Vegas, but it's just as important here.
Yeah, honestly, Sessom's had a rough weekend and had to start at the back because of the way things played out for pit cycles and everything, and now facing the potential of getting parked if his truck's not fast enough for minimum speed. I'm sure he's ready to get out of here.
And he probably will be getting out of here soon because that truck is not up to pace with those around him as Miller goes to the inside of Johns to try and take the lead away. Move the 83 up to the top spot. But yeah, this 88 well off the pace. I would expect them to park him in the next lap or so.
For Sessom, but...
Oh, when he turns down in front of the 89, he gets turned again!
And I believe, yep, I saw the lights go, and we do have another caution for this.
And I can see why. We've got a big crash again, and it goes out the other points leader involved in this one, and Andrew Lyons in the 78.
Oh, this is really going to play games in the point standings, because I mentioned it, Beholz and Zhao, they were up there top two going into this thing. Lyons as well. Oh, this is really going to mess things up.
Top three in the championship going into this weekend have all been caught up in wrecks today. Caution is out for the second time today on lap number 14, and once again, we've got everybody coming to pit road for a splash of gas and maybe some more tires to try and make it the rest of the way. But you see Francois Chastain with a good amount of damage on the one. Ethan Robinson was on pit road already when the caution came out. Something must have been amiss on his truck. But that is just a tough break for a lot of guys who needed good days and now aren't going to get them.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. I mean, we talked about it. We went from clean and green in race one, and now it's just a matter of who can get out of this race without a damaged truck, which hopefully this will be the last incident we see, especially this early.
We hope so anyway. As the field makes their way in and out of pit road, we'll see who gets out first. Audrey Ansack wins the race off pit road, ahead of teammate Jacob Miller. Cal Farrell third. Interesting call by the 3, it looks like, as we're going to get you a replay soon of what happened to bring out our second caution of the afternoon. But what a tough break for a lot of good drivers who needed good runs and now are going to be relegated to the back of the field once again here at Nashville. So it all starts with the 88 who had just been black flagged for a minimum speed violation. I think he's going to try and clear himself in front of the 89 and wasn't. That's just a rookie mistake right there. You got to make sure you're clear before you pull down, and that touches off this wreck and going into turn 3.
And what we didn't see initially was the 31 of Charette getting involved, but looks like minimal damage for him, and he should be able to continue, so might be able to salvage something out of this, unlike his teammate, but unlike a lot of drivers, actually. And, of course, now Sessom's rough weekend finally comes to an end.
Watching this from Egor Zhao's point of view, he was already in the middle 3 wide. That's not where you want to be. And then Andrew Lyons tried to get out of the way of the spin, and he came up into the 98. That is a tough incident, as it looks like Cameron Lassard got involved in this as well. Francois Chastain, Ali Ahmed in the 13 this week. That is you never want to see that in a one-up competition. As Charette exits the pits, he will stay on the lead lap, but Cameron Lassard out of the race as a result.
And I believe, if I recall correctly, I was getting ready to express my concern about the hornet's nest that the 88 was in when the call to come to pit road and park it was made, and before I even got a chance to express my concerns, they were confirmed, which is always unfortunate when you have concerns that don't even get expressed to get confirmed.
I'm sure there aren't many concerns right now for Team Duke, though. They currently run first and second, in addition to Terzic, who's made his way up into the top 10 in 10th place. As the lights go out on the pace truck, we will be going green next time they cross the start-finish line. As the 67 makes his way up into the lap-down lane, he should be able to keep up pace because we believe it was an unrelated issue that put him in pit road, to put him a lap down.
That unrelated issue may have saved him from being in the garage right now. Well, we'll never know, but I'm sure he's counting his blessings that he wasn't one of those caught up in that mess, and he gets a chance to at least salvage something out of his day.
Yeah, this has been a tough race so far for everybody involved in those crashes, but we're hopefully going to go clear and green the rest of the way as Audrey Anzac and Jacob Miller lead them back to the green flag when they get back to the line. Team Duke looking for their first win in the trucks this season, and they've got 3 prime contenders to make it happen.
Yeah, 3 prime contenders, and one of them was in contention for the win for the latter half of the first race, so who knows? You could be Team Duke celebrating a 1-2-3, or at least somebody in victory lane. We're about to find out over the rest of this race.
Green flag back in the air. We're underway once again. And it looks like a couple guys moved up high to try and make a run at it. Now Cal Farrell dives to the bottom of the racetrack to try and get by Miller, but he's now going to get moved up by Jesse Johns in the 56. We're already back to some aggressive racing.
Yeah, and that 67 of Robinson might have played a factor in that checkup by Farrell, because it looked like he checked him just a little bit, and that gave Jesse Johns just the opportunity he needed, and here he goes.
It looks like the 6 of Fahrenkrug is going to be off the pace for the rest of this race. He should be able to make minimum speed and will not be parked for it, but he is going to probably fall a couple laps down by the end of this, which is a shame, making his first few starts for Robbers Racing this weekend.
Yep, and now I see teammates at Team Duke going at it for this. You got 2 very potent Chevy trucks right here trying to go for it, and well, I'd say why not let a teammate lead for a while.
As Robinson now comes to pit road, looks like his issues have not been resolved quite yet. He is back on pit road. This will put him probably 2 or maybe even 3 laps down by the end of this. But Miller to the point in the 83. So they have swapped around in the front at Team Duke as Justin Browning now tries to squeeze out of the middle of 3 wide with Reggie Fogelman and Cal Farrell.
Yeah, that was really interesting right there. And talking about these drivers and other drivers that haven't had an opportunity to really show what they can do. How about Fogelman? He ran a handful of races for Crossroads last year in Superstar and here at Turbo Trucks. Got himself a good opportunity here this year and getting a chance to show what that truck can do.
And how about this 91 of Justin Whitmer? He finished top 10 yesterday and now is making his way back into the top 10 with a good run here today. And DJ Curtis in that 22. Can't say enough about him. He spun early, was running plumb last down the field, and now, because of those cautions, has gotten caught back up to the rest of the field. He's making a push for the top 10.
Yeah, but he's still got to deal with at least with a Crossroads truck. Not the ones he dealt with. Ian Grigsby, his teammate, dealt with it at the beginning of race 1, but yeah, he also still got Terzic up there to deal with as well. So some of the guys he fought in yesterday's race some of the teams at least are not giving him any race.
No, but it looks like the top 3 are starting to stretch their legs out in front. Audrey with Miller out in the front and Justin Browning in the 9 trying to make his way up in the 2nd spot. Another Paladin truck. Teammates with Brandon Smith and Andrew Lyons in that camp. So he's doing a good job making his way up to the front. He started this race back in 9th and he's now up to 2nd. Yeah,
and looking for more. Once you get to 2nd place, you don't settle. It doesn't matter how many times you've won a race. I guarantee I've got a few more starts coming up later this year in the 11 truck for Crossroads. I'm not going to be satisfied with wherever I'm at. You don't do it in any series, but You got to go for it. You just do.
And DJ Curtis has made his way into the top 10 now. For Fingai Saitomi as his teammate Grigsby's only made it up to 20th so far. Interesting. The damaged truck of Curtis was able to make more progress than the intact truck of Grigsby. But we still have 35 trucks still in this race, 34 of whom are on the lead lap. And right now, it's a 3-truck breakaway at the front with Miller, Browning, and Audrey.
And you got some really good contenders in here. I briefly mentioned him at one point during the pre-race for race 1. Henry Brown, he's not a regular in this series, but you don't count him out when he's here.
No, and he is going to try the full schedule in the truck series. He missed Daytona while getting ready for the team's debut at Auto Club, of course. But this is still a good run from that 70 truck, who was with the lone Ram team last season. Didn't quite work out for him. He made the switch to Mercedes, and I think that's going to be a good deal for him. He's going to probably get a boost in performance as a result of that.
And I fully believe that's going to be good. Right now, running up there in 4th position. And with the top 3 stretching out a bit, it's going to take a little bit of work, but I think he might have a shot eventually to get up there.
As we're now 1/3 of the way through this race, Jacob Miller has a very nice lead out in front of this side-by-side battle for second between Audrey Ansack and Justin Browning, moving the 9 up to P2. Villalobos up to 4th place, as Henry Brown now faces pressure from Cal Farrell and DJ Curtis, who continues to charge his way through the field. He's up to 7.
I feel like Rhodes Gray knows what's going on right there behind Curtis. He sees a good truck, and that 11 got the opportunity to be up here and have a chance at it. I feel like he's been kind of battling with and following Curtis for the last several laps, so maybe he's onto something there with DJ.
And now Curtis moves up into 6th place, getting past Henry Brown. Now he sets his sights on Cal Farrell. If Fingai Saitomi Motorsports can sweep the weekend, first with Grigsby and now with Curtis, that would be a fantastic way to cap off the weekend for that team. But he's still got 5 good trucks to try and get past to make that happen, and now he's under pressure from that 11 truck.
Yeah, like I said, Rhodes has been battling with and following that 22, but still got a long way to go. Hard to tell who's gonna prevail in this race.
No, but we've got plenty of racing still to go to see, as it's still a Team Duke 1-2 out in front with Miller ahead of Ansack. Justin Browning's keeping them honest, though, in 3rd place. If he gets to the front of the field, I'm very curious to see what he can do with that clean air.
Yeah, he keeps going past Audrey Anzac here, but she keeps coming back and taking the spot back away. Right now, she's holding him off pretty good, too.
Yeah, doing a good job. And here's a guy running a pretty lonely race at the moment, Villalobos. He's got about a half-second gap in front and behind him. It's still a good run for the 66 in a weekend that Robbers Racing was hoping for a lot better. This is their home race, too. And right now, Villalobos, their highest-placed car, in 4th place, as Browning looks like he is going to try and make a move for the lead now.
Yeah, he finally cleared Anzac, as we see Gray trying to get top 5, was credited with top 5 position, and Browning, he'd love to be credited with leading a lap here.
That would be a bonus point for this 9 team, and I'm pretty sure they need bonus points at this point. As here we go, for the lead, Browning on Miller to try and take the lead away, and at the stripe, Browning gets it.
Like I said, he wanted to be credited for leading a lap, and he does, and now he would love to need nothing more than get in the lead and set sail, but, well, he's got a couple of really potent Team Duke trucks to keep from taking that back from him.
And Villalobos is also starting to gain ground on these 3, so I would expect him to make a little more progress at the front. But keep in mind, we do have at least one more pit stop cycle to make. With those cycles under caution, we should see them be able to make it to about lap 45 to 50, and that should get them to the end of the race.
And don't look now. These 3 fighting and then bringing Villalobos into the mixture. That 11 goes to within just over a second. If these guys keep fighting, these guys and girl keep fighting, we could have another 5-car truck battle for the race lead here.
And Curtis has actually dropped back a bit. He's fallen to 9th, just ahead of Jeremy Frey and just behind Cal Farrell. So, a lot of battling for position throughout this field as Whitmer gets past Rhodes Gray to move up into the top 5.
Okay, well, they're still gaining. Well, they lost a little bit of time fighting each other, and now that the top 4 are straightened out, we might not get to see a top 5-6 battle for the win just yet.
But you never know. Pit stops could change the outcome of this race. It did that yesterday, as the Team Duke duo battled for the lead, just as the Fingai Saitomi duo did so yesterday. But it looks like Audrey's going to be able to lead the lap for the moment. As we now close in, we have 41 laps to go.
41 laps to go, and a lot of racing left to decide this one. As we see Team Duke 1-2 once again, which, I don't think they'll mind that at all. But you talk about Roberts Racing not having the greatest of weekends. That'd be something if that 66 could steal a win from this one.
Yeah, we've got some strong runs up at the front of the field. We've got DJ Curtis obviously clawing his way back to the front in 8th spot. But here's a guy who's had a rough weekend so far, this 6 truck. And he was involved in some of those crashes. He's off the pace now, and it's not going to be long because he's about a second off the pace. I would expect him to be lapped any minute now.
Any minute now, that could be a factor in this one, unless, of course, they decide to go ahead and do a pit cycle, which I don't know when they're going to do with the way the cautions played out.
They're not going to do it now. They can't make it to the end from here, so they're going to have to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, but see, so yeah, the 6 will definitely play a factor in this battle for the lead, and the 91 and 11 keep switching 5th and 6th here, so this is going to... I'd say even with them switching, this could get interesting.
Yeah, because Whitmer's now caught Villalobos for 4th spot. So if this 91 can start making up ground as the 9 dives to the inside for the lead here, if Whitmer can get past Villalobos and start making gains, I would expect that 91 to be a factor as well, as Curtis gets back by the 11 again.
Yeah, like I said. The 11 and the 22 can't get away from each other at the moment, especially after Curtis got up there where Gray has been. But I'd say, yeah, do not count DJ Curtis out definitely now.
Especially since the 6 truck has held up the leaders a little bit. Now Curtis is right there waiting. He's got 3 spots up for grabs in front of him as Whitmer, Villalobos, and Jacob Miller battle for the lead, or battle for 3rd, I should say. As they go 3 wide in front of them. This could get hairy.
Yeah, it could, but it could also open up the door for Curtis and Gray here as they've caught up to this group now. And what was I saying about a top 5 battle? This has gotten bigger than that.
It's a top 7 battle now, and it could be 8 if Terzic can get up there. But look at the side of that 22 truck. It's taken a pounding today, but it's still fast. He's now up into the top 5.
Top 5 and looking for more, and not getting rid of that 11 either. Like I said, Rhodes Gray knows who's good, and he has caught on to what Curtis is doing.
Yeah, Curtis has made his way up to 4th. He's gotten past Villalobos, but it's Justin Browning who's been leading consistently for the last several laps. And we're getting to a point, probably in the next 5 to 10 laps, where these guys are going to be able to pit and make it the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's going to be important. As you see, the top 7 now have stretched just a little bit. And don't look now. You mentioned it. Here comes Terzic.
Yeah, and here comes Curtis around Whitmer to move up into 3rd. Strong stuff, but now Jacob Miller gets to the inside of DJ Curtis to try and halt his forward progress and his momentum as the top 2 start to pull away from this battle.
Yeah, I mentioned it before. Curtis had to put up with a Team Duke driver before. He's had to put up with 2 of them now, maybe all 3. This could get interesting as we see Whitmer lose it just a little bit, allowing the 11 to get by, maybe.
It's going to be a very tight battle for this win, at least until the pit stops happen, and then who knows what will come out of it. But at the front of the field, Browning continues to lead ahead of Anzac, Miller up to third, Curtis fourth, and now Rhodes Gray gains 2 for 1, and he moves up into the top 5.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing out of this. I mean, granted, it's because of the inversion that he was able to be up here in a position like this, but I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in the rest of his starts for Crossroads in all series, because with the departure of Justin Henley, I have tapped him as we see Whitmer and others coming to pit road. I have tapped Rhodes Gray to fill in races where others can't. So, looking forward to seeing what he can do in the future, especially if he can close out a top 5 here.
As we got pit stops now for... This is a little early, but you might be able to make it if you save a little now, as it looks like the 57 was in a lap earlier. I think at this point you gotta follow them in. Here comes Audrey into the pits. It looks like everybody else at the front stays out, but these guys have got to be thinking, if we can just get to lap 44, 45, 46, we can get to that point, we can pit and make it cleanly to the end of the race.
That's something you gotta you gotta think about those kind of things as you get, especially get to the second half of this race. With the early double caution pit cycles, as you see, looks like, yeah, here comes Browning coming in for, and everybody else is coming in now on the lead lap at least.
We'll see if anyone tries to stay out, get a bonus point. Doesn't look like anyone's going to go for it, but pit stops the order of the day here at Nashville with about 30 laps to go. This is going to be interesting to see whose pit crew is going to shine best and give them the best opportunity they can to win this race.
Yeah, you got to watch the strategy. And it looks like there's a motor going down there.
Yeah, Nate Champion in the 86. He had a decent top 15 run yesterday, but now the engine has expired on his Chevrolet, and it looks like Charette can't get by him. This is an unfortunate break for the 31, but that 86, they shouldn't have sent him back out, because obviously his engine was going sour, and now the 31 can't get by him.
Yeah, I am not happy as a team owner seeing this, and there goes this Gutierrez by the 86 now, pulling back in. Honestly, on one hand, I'm happy with how things are going for the 11, going into the pit stops, and then you look at the other side of things like this. But it's the name of the game as a team owner, honestly.
The officials will have a look at that, but for now, Nate Champion pulls out of this race and will become our, I believe, 8th retiree from this race at Nashville. But back at the front of the field, Audrey Anzac has cycled out to be the leader, as we're looking for DJ Curtis, who seems to have had a wretched pit stop. He is now quite a ways off the group. There he is, right at the back of the line.
And what happened? You see all the other front runners up there, and you see some new interest in this field. Like the 25 hasn't been talked about much today, Jade. But what happened on his pit stop? We didn't even get to see that.
Yeah, he has had a horrific pit cycle, and now he has fallen from the lead of this race all the way back to 29.
Yeah, that is definitely not good. He had quite the comeback coming in now. And
he's going to have to do it again.
Or not. Unless he can pull up. He's got a good truck. He could do it. We'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to see what the gap is, but this could be the first race that DJ Curtis finishes outside the top 10, and that would be a real shame because he had a top 10 truck today. But back at the front, looks like all 3 of the Team Duke trucks are now in contention for the win. They're all in the top 5 anyway, with Justin Whitmer and Justin Browning in the mix as well.
Yeah, I talked about it earlier. We could see a Team Duke 1, 2, 3, and then of course you look. They're all right here. Top 5's all not too far away. Then you look back there, you see just under 3 seconds back, Rhodes Gray, and then the 66 as well. We got some different contenders to look out for coming into the top 10, looking for another good points day.
Yeah, but DJ Curtis was hoping for so much better. He's now 31st in this race. There he is. He's just made the move for 30th, and he's actually gained 2 spots. He's up to 29th. That is a fast truck, but he is going to need a caution to get back into this.
Yeah, it's rough, honestly. You look at it, it is a very rough time for him. But like I said, all good things must come to an end, but that doesn't mean that they can't come back at a later point.
Yeah, that'll be a strong truck at Hillside next time. Now it is Browning makes a 3-wide move on Whitmer and Miller to move up in the second. That 9 truck has been fast all day. We'll see what he can do now. But Whitmer's going back underneath him to try and get the second spot back. This could be a big day, especially considering that of this top 5, only Terzic has won a race in the Turbo Truck Series before.
Yeah, and you gotta be looking at Audrey Anzac here. You gotta look at Miller as well, but that 3 truck, Anzac, she started 22nd and is currently in the lead. If she can hang on and win, and even better, get her teammates 2nd and 3rd behind her, regardless, Team Duke is having an awesome day so far.
And Terzic started even further back today. He started 37th. Now he's up into the top 5. I told you passing was possible here at Nashville. It's very common, in fact.
Very common as long as there's enough people closed up together. Right now, we could see the field tighten back up, at least the top 5.
Yeah, because they're coming up to lap Alex Zanfatal in the 43 to put him a lap down, and looks like Audrey should be able to make the pass pretty easily, but they're gaining on her at a rate of knots. Here comes the 9 of Browning and the 83 of Miller. They're all stacking up behind the 3.
And you're talking about Zanfatal. It's been a rough day for him. There's a lot of people it's been a rough day for, but the fact that he's even able to continue on, he's got to be thankful for that. What Audrey's not thankful for is the fact that Browning just took their lead away from him.
And we're closing in on 20 laps to go. Can Justin Browning get that maiden win for himself and for Paladin Racing? We all thought it was going to be Brandon Smith getting that win first, but it could very well be this 9. As you see TJ Curtis, he has made a few more passes. He's up to, I believe, 27th, but he's got a long way to go to catch Levi Forley ahead of him.
And meanwhile, we got the 83. I mentioned him already, Jacob Miller. It doesn't matter. I don't think Duke Anzac's going to be too upset about which of his trucks win, as long as one of them is in victory lane at the end of this race.
And it could very well be this 83. Remember, this 83 truck won last year at Daytona with a different driver behind the wheel. Now Jacob Miller, it's his turn to try and challenge for the lead. And down the backstretch, they're side by side. Browning on the outside, Miller on the inside. Who's going to get the lead? Going in the 3, it's the 83 of Miller.
And there we have it. And you see right here, top 5. They've definitely gapped on Rhodes Gray there in the 11 and 6th spot. And it's an even bigger gap from him to the 66 there in 7th. So right now, it is definitely a 5-horse race.
And it's currently being led by Jacob Miller, who looking for that first career win. He hasn't done a lot of races in this series. I believe this is only his 6th career start, but he's doing a fantastic job. He started Homestead last year, and he's obviously full-time this year, as Zanfatal runs a little wide in the background, as Browning now goes underneath Miller to try and take the lead again.
Browning has been a thorn in the side of Team Duke these last 20-plus laps. So
just as Terzic was a thorn in the side of the Finn Guy trucks yesterday.
Yeah, it's funny how that works out. You get one Team Duke truck being a thorn in the side of Finn Guy Saitomi yesterday, and then today, Team Duke's the one getting a thorn in their side. So, and what's even more interesting is you got all 3 of their trucks up here this time. So, this. As you see, Audrey Anzac's starting to fall back just a little bit there, but still looking like a really good day for Team Duke and for this 9 and the 91.
Yeah, they've had Team Duke's got 2 thorns in their side now. You got Justin Browning, who Miller's trying to pass for the lead, and Whitmer in the 91, who's holding steady 3rd back there. If he can get up front, I'm curious to see what he can do, as we got a little more lap traffic for these guys to navigate as we have 16 to go.
And with Audrey falling back a little bit, she falls back too much, I would say you add Crossroads Racing to that list, because Rhodes Gray, he keeps fluctuating between just under and just over 3 seconds behind. But this lap traffic could really bunch things up for the top 5 once again.
Yeah,
or
but it looks like they're staying out of the way for the most part on the high side. That's what you want, is you want the lap traffic to stay out of your way as much as possible. As Miller extends his lead over Whitmer, who now moves up into second spot. I just said, if Whitmer gets up here, I'm curious to see what he can do at the front, and now he's making some gains. He just passed Browning for second.
Yeah, now it's a 4-horse race as Anzac falls back just a little bit more. Still got roughly a 2-second gap before she's in danger of losing a top 5 spot, but right now still not doing too bad even after losing the lead.
And we're coming now to 14 laps to go for Jacob Miller, trying to get that first career win. The next lap truck up for the leaders is Aguo Zhao, and he's about a straightaway ahead. I'm not sure. They might catch him by the end of this race. I'm not sure. But great run from Jacob Miller, even if he doesn't get this win. He started back in 19th. He's led a lot today, and it would not upset me at all if that 83 got the job done.
I know someone, we mentioned him already, but I know someone else who would not be upset at all. That'd be team owner Duke Anzac. He'll be watching this and loving what he's seeing, no doubt. And he's got to be happy for his team to have such a good run this race.
And DJ Curtis is making his way through the field. I believe he just caught Levi Forley for 26, but it's going to be a missed opportunity for that 22 team, and that's a real shame. He started this race back in 36. He gained so many positions. He was running up front, racing for the lead, and it's going to devolve into who knows where. It's just not going to be close enough for him. But we see a lead change once again as we close in on 10 to go. Browning back out front.
And it's looking more and more like a 2-horse race now as we see Whitmer and Terzic and Anzac starting to fall back into their own little battle for third. And there's definitely pending a caution before the point of no return. I definitely have to say, from 6th on back, I don't think they can do anything now.
No, but we still got a great battle up at the front despite that. We've got 4 drivers looking for their first career win. We got Terzic looking for his second, and they're all giving it their absolute best. As we come to 10 laps to go this time, we got the 2 teammates side by side for 4th, and their other teammate trying to chase down Justin Browning, who's got quite a big lead ahead of him.
And you mentioned, I think I got a glimpse. You mentioned Zhao. There he is.
And Gutierrez in the 72 is also back there.
And one other ahead of them, so might have a little bit more lap traffic to deal with here before it's all said.
Yeah, that's Charette in the 31. So there's 3 trucks now that they're about to catch. As you see, Curtis did get by Forley for 26. There's 3 lap trucks up ahead, and that's the biggest lap challenge we've seen so far.
Yeah, they're all kind of spread out at the moment, but that doesn't mean they're not going to fight to stay on the lead lap. Especially when you look at Charette, who had a big points gain in the first race, and now just doing what he has to do to hold on to the position he's got. But that it's all about how these drivers catch the lap traffic.
As you see, Browning's got quite a big lead now as he comes up to lap Gutierrez. This could be a big factor in the outcome of this race, because if he gets held up any little bit, that 83 will be right on his bumper in no time.
Yeah, it's the 72, the 98, and the 31. It's all about how you get by. It's not taking much to get by Gutierrez, but Zhao, even with a wounded truck, is probably going to be might be a little bit more of a challenge. Maybe I was wrong.
I think Zhao is just being courteous and getting out of the way there. But Miller, we'll see if Miller can get by these 2 at the same rate. And the difference between those 2 and the 31, Charette doesn't have any damage on that truck. He just got held up by the 86 when his engine expired. So now, although he does get out of the way of the leaders to be courteous once again, but we're coming to 6 laps to go. Miller is not out of this race.
You were saying about the 31 being courteous.
He's still out of the way. He's not impeding.
But it opened the door for Miller, who might. I don't know if he's going to have an easier time or not. We're about to find out, but it's really getting down to it, and we're definitely in point of no return if a caution comes out now. So you got to bet that Miller's praying that no yellows come out, and he can have a chance at that 9.
Next up, Ethan Robinson to go another lap down. I don't know if they're going to catch him or not, but if they do, that could be a big wrench in Justin Browning's race, who is now just about 5 laps away from his first win in the Turbo Truck Series.
5 laps, and hoping that Miller and Whitmer do not get to him. They're clear of the lap traffic. It's a 3-horse race now. It's going to be all about who has the better truck in these final laps.
I think Miller is gaining on him. He is gaining on him.
He is.
With 5 laps to go. Whitmer lurking back there in third, but it's Miller versus Browning at the front of the field. Team Duke versus Paladin Racing, each trying to get their first win of the season.
And there goes Miller to the inside. These two get into fighting. Look out for Whitmer, but all right, that wasn't a huge fight, but I wouldn't count Browning out yet.
Especially with 4 laps to go, he's got to be seeing red now that he's got the 83 ahead of him. He's got a target to chase after. Can Browning bounce back and get this win, or will it be Jacob Miller getting his first career win? We've got 3 drivers in the hunt, all looking for win number 1, and we're coming to 3 laps to go. You can't get much better than that.
Yeah, and then looking toward as we focus on camera toward the front of the field here, this battle, you see back there, I saw the 66 Villalobos fell back a little bit, and you see Fogelman now running in 7th place. A little bit of shuffling toward the back of the pack, which these guys don't really care about, as it's all about these two right now.
And you see Browning actually put Miller up onto the dirty part of the racetrack, trying to get stuff on his tires, trying to get him a little out of shape. This is all in the battle for the win. All's fair in the battle for the win as Browning now gets back to the inside.
Back to the inside, and it's looking like he's gonna try and, well, Miller's doing everything he can right now, and we see some people on pit road.
Oh, Terzic's one of them. He couldn't make it on fuel for the entire distance. He's going to fall out of the top 5 as a result of that. But we're coming to the white flag this time. We have a couple guys running out of gas as a result, but these guys up at the front, they should be good to go.
Should be good to go, and it looks like they are. So coming to the white flag, this is still the battle for the win. And honestly, it's Miller's race to lose at this point.
White flag in the air, 1 lap to go from Nashville. Can Jacob Miller hold on? The gap, a 10.5 between himself and the 9 machine as some of the field exits pit road. Down the backstretch we go for the final time in this race. It is going to be a battle between Miller and Browning. Browning's got 1 more shot in the turn 3. He doesn't look like he's close enough, though. This could be the run Miller's been looking for. Through 3 and 4. For the final time, it is going to be Jacob Miller as Browning's challenge fizzles. It's the 83 of Miller getting his first career win in race number 2 at Nashville.
Yep, and party at Team Duke shops today. It was due. I mean, after the run that Terzic had in the first race, you had to figure that if things played out in their favor, Team Duke was going to win this one, and that's a big congratulations to them. And looking at their stuff I've seen, Rhodes managed to pull out something good for my team this weekend, and I'm very happy for that.
Cal Farrell, another good top 10 for him in 6th. Villalobos 7th. Henry Brown, great run for him in the Mercedes 8th. Ahead of a fellow Merc driver in Reggie Fogelman 9th. Samantha Jade completes the top 10 just ahead of Derek Hamill in 11th. Great rebound for the 59 team. DJ Curtis, well, he made it up to 20th, but that's as far as he is going to get, and his top 10 streak comes to an end.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but like I said, all good things have an end at some point, but they also have a return at some point as well. So we'll see him back up there again.
I would expect him to be back in full form when we head to Hillside Raceway next time out. And him and Grigsby, they're a great combo, and I would expect them to be back at the front before you know it. But that is going to do it for us from the Nashville Doubleheader, and what a great set of races we had. 2 very deserving winners at the end of the day. So, from James Ellison and from myself as well, we say goodbye from Nashville for good this time, for at least till next year. And we'll see you again next time at Hillside for race number 6 in the season. Congrats to Jacob Miller and Brian Grigsby yesterday on their wins. And now, with all the front runners and the points taken out in crashes today, I expect the points battle to look very different as we head towards Hillside next time.